Hello, every meowie. It's Purr's Day, so it's time for Warrior Chats. I'm Taylor Felicity. I'm here with Melanie Anderson Zay. We are millennials who didn't read the Warrior Chats books as kids, but we're reading them now to see how it changes us. And really quick, oh my gosh, there's a hype train going. Thank you. Thank you, Melanie and Mila, for the resubs. Much appreciated. And then I also have to say Mila canonically first in chat. And Melanie redeemed a warrior cat name and got Big Heart, which is good, but also
True.
a medical anomaly, perhaps.
It's true. It's also why I can't lose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Clear eyes, big heart.
Well,
Yeah.
Can't lose.
Yeah.
do we think that those were warrior cat names?
Yeah, maybe
Full heart.
that's
Big
a
heart.
warrior cat
Can't
shout
lose?
out. Yeah.
Can't lose is a weird one, but you know what?
Clear eyes.
We've read 8 books and they're running out of steam already. There's a lot more to go. Can't lose could fully be a
Can't
name.
lose. That is a good name.
I mean, pretty cool. That's a cat who plays basketball.
Is it
What do we think the cats would call basketball?
We can't.
We
we
simply can't.
haven't even.
Sorry, real quick, before we really get into it, I noticed in this book, they don't have a name for glass. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's like the
They don't-
clear, the ice-like stuff that fills the openings in the nest.
You can see through.
You can see through it.
But
Yeah,
they do know the word barn.
Yeah.
There's too many inconsistencies. Well, okay. Actually, I have to hold my tongue.
We have to do.
Also, I want to say for viewers, Melanie while we were prepping for this said, "I'm hoping we can make this a shorter episode than usual, even though it's the longest book we've read." And I said, I don't think that's happening.
And to
Smooth
do
orange
that-
stones. You're so right. Call me Z. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Always in chat. The cats would probably call basketball smooth orange stones. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. With bumpy pelts. Okay. I have to stick to our. we're trying to keep this a short episode. Obligatory. Check out your library. We get all of our books and audiobooks and all of that from the library. I'll say this because we haven't said it, I think, since the first one. But Melanie listens to the audiobooks through the Libby app from the library. I get the regular old books from my library. This one is very pretty. And then Margot, I think you have done e-reader and physical book and audiobook.
Do the physical book whenever I can get it, but I've also done audiobook and ebooks. I've used Libby and Hoopla because my library offers Hoopla. So
yeah. So check it out if you're watching this and you don't utilize your library. Utilize your library. It's a great resource. We have saved so much money getting these books from the library. And it's good. It's still, I think some people have this apprehension that it's like not supporting authors because you're not paying for the book, but the libraries buy the books. And like they sometimes have to pay more for books than audiobooks than like a regular person buying the book would. And it shows demand for the authors. So it is good. It is good. Authors even say it's good for libraries to have our books. It's really good for people to check them out. So check out your library. Next segment is TikTalk, which is where I talk about people who are commenting on our TikTok videos. I was behind on posting TikToks for a while, but I edited like 30-something episodes or clips in one day last week, and so I'm back on schedule. So I've been uploading again. A couple episodes ago, we talked about, Melanie specifically asked about Firestar apologists and was like, are there a lot of people who like Firestar or who like think he's good or whatever? Delta on TikTok said he has this sad backstory, and I know there is a super edition specifically about Firestar, so I think that probably gets into it, which we haven't read, and said that he had a lot of apologists back in the day when these books were first coming out. Most other people commented that they like Firestar as a villain, but they don't like think he's a good person. Well, he's a cat anyway, but
someone commented about that he missed his diva antics, and it made me so happy.
Yeah. Someone commented, yeah, I miss Tiger Star's diva antics, which is very funny. Um, and then Melanie, also in that same clip, was like asked if Warrior Cat kids saw Trump like running for office and were like, "Whoa, this is similar to Tiger Star." And Cedar Everin, I think I may have written that wrong, but Cedar on TikTok commented, "Oh my God, you just made me come to this conclusion. I'm so bringing this up to my MAGA mom because holy shit, you're right. I knew there was a reason I never liked him, even though they had me decently Republican as a child. That did not last into teenagehood, fear not." Which I love, but also made me feel like I was dying because I was like, oh, you were a child when Trump was running for office for the first time. And I was like, I'm so old. um, and then Aster, who is also in our Discord server, in a comment called Gray Stripe Firestar's loser boyfriend and called Sandstorm his badass girlfriend, which I love.
True, 100% true.
Yeah.
And then Melanie, you had something you wanted to say to our TikTok audience.
Yeah, while we're talking about TikTok and the people who've been commenting, everyone in the Warrior Cats fandom has been so sweet and wonderful and welcoming to us. And I just wanted to like let y'all know, if you're watching this or listening to this, we really appreciate you. It's been really nice to you know, dip our toes into this world and get to experience something that you really love, and the fact that you're excited about it and excited about us learning about it. It's cool to be a part of that. I just wanted to say that we really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it's been really nice. I've gotten
Yeah.
really nice comments on TikTok, on YouTube, even people in Twitch chat pop in. And yeah, people have been super, super supportive and like really excited, I think, for us to experience these books for the first time and be like, oh, they don't know what's coming. Or like, you know, that's always fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
they don't know
it's so
that
cool to see that.
he's her nephew.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes to our detriment, we don't know things. That came up again because in a
Yes.
clip I like casually, like I was making a joke in the context of the video, but if people don't watch all of the episodes, they don't know the whole saga. So some people were like, you know, commenting, and then they were like, also, by the way, they're related. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm like joking about that.
Oh, we know.
We know they're related.
Oh, we know now.
That hasn't
We're just
stopped
little
some of
nasty
the
freaks
freaks on
about
this
it.
podcast.
We're just a bunch of sickos, little sick kitties over here.
Before we drive away our audience.
That's what they come here for.
Our sick and twisted takes. Let's get into the recap since this is a long ass book.
Gonna buckle the fuck in.
Yeah, some info. This book was published in 2007, which is between the first and second books of the third story arc. So a few years after what we've read up to. It was written by Cherith Baldry, and like they said, it is a long one. It's about 511 pages, I think, in my edition, which is about 40% longer than any of the other books that we've read. So quite a bit longer. Thankfully, the recap isn't a whole lot longer than some of the other ones, but I'll jump in. We start right off with a gathering, but it quickly becomes clear that this is one set far in the past. The 4 clans gather, but they can't start yet because there's a 5th clan, Sky Clan. There have always been 5 clans in the forest, apparently. Doesn't everybody know that? The entirety of Sky Clan shows up, though, to this gathering because their territory was destroyed by 2 Legs, and they beg the other clans to share territory, but are denied. Thunder Clan's old leader Red Star talks about how Star Clan gives each clan the skills to hunt and survive in their own territories. Sky Clan's skill is leaping into trees. The other clans decide to drive Sky Clan out, and the 5th clan leaves before it becomes a fight, though one of their queens, Birdflight, stays behind with Thunder Clan to take care of 2 kits too small to travel. The Sky Clan leader, Cloudstar, declares as they leave that Star Clan has betrayed them and they will never look to the stars again.
Some real Blue Star energy there.
Yeah. Not that I think Blue Star would relate to Cloudstar, but we'll get to that. Because we then jump to Firestar's perspective about 5 months after the battle with Blood Clan. Things in the forest have been peaceful, but Firestar begins having dreams of strange cats and seeing the same gray and white cat that no one else can see. Eventually, he goes to the Moonstone to ask StarClan for information, and Blue Star appears to him. She tells him that his questions would not be appreciated by the rest of StarClan because the cats he has been seeing are SkyClan. She's actually like a little bit snippy to him in this whole section. But she does tell him that SkyClan used to live downriver from RiverClan, where the two-leg place is now. Apparently, when they left, their own warrior ancestors went with them, and so StarClan never tried to find them again. Blue Star tries to tell Firestar that it's not his responsibility to do anything about, which angers Firestar, though he decides not to tell anyone else about this because he worries about damaging their faith in StarClan. I am being attacked by a cat of my own.
Do you want to introduce the new edition?
Real SkyClan energy, just jumping
Really?
on your back.
Good
which
jump.
I didn't think he really could. So yeah, there's a little guy. We have a new little guy around. I don't think he wants to be on the camera, but he does want my attention.
Well,
classic cat.
Tough bud.
Very classic cat. Did you learn from SkyClan? He's actually wouldn't be a part of SkyClan. Not very good at jumping yet, so doesn't have those strong back legs. All right. So back to the recap. Firestar wrestles with leaving his clan to attempt what feels like an impossible task, but Silverstream visits him in his dreams that night and tells him he has to do what he knows is right, code or not. This is enough encouragement, and Firestar tells his closest allies, Graystripe, Cinderpet, Sandstorm, that he needs to leave on this mission. None of them are happy with this, especially Sandstorm, but Firestar asks his mate to come along with him. In the hopes of moving the recap along, Firestar and Sandstorm travel for about 5 chapters, through two-leg areas, interacting with kitty pets, and fighting over Firestar's feelings for Spotted Leaf. None of this comes back up later. Eventually, they find a spot in the gorge with caves in the cliff sides that they think must have been SkyClan's home. There are signs that cats have been here within the last moon, but no one living here. Firestar and Sandstorm stay in the caves, exploring the area and looking for more signs of SkyClan. After a couple days, Firestar confronts a couple of kitty pets named Cherry and Boris that keep coming around the gorge. They tell him there are stories of cats living here, but none do anymore except an old loner named Mooney, who comes around every full moon. Firestar and Sandstorm venture further into the gorge until they find Mooney's nest, but Mooney does not want to talk to them. Firestar decides to wait the 4 days until the next full moon and finds Mooney, or more accurately, Sky, in a more talkative mood. Sky's story is that his mother's mother was born into SkyClan, and his mother passed the warrior code down to him, even though the clan was gone by then. Sky believes that Cherry, Boris, and many of the other cats in the area are all descended from SkyClan. Before he leaves, Sky asks Firestar to rebuild the broken clan. This starts with Cherry and Boris, who Firestar finds watching him hunt. He tells them the story of SkyClan and begins teaching them. They're excited, but a little unsure of leaving their cushy kitty pet lives fully behind. Shortly after this, Firestar and Sandstorm help save a mother cat named Clover, who is defending her 3 kits from a fox. They're helped by Scratch, a local rogue. Scratch is intrigued by the idea of training with other cats, and Clover loves the protection that would come with a clan, so they both agree to come stay in the gorge. This is a start, but not enough for a clan. So Boris, Cherry, and Scratch suggest talking to the cats, both kitty pets and rogues, in the area and inviting them all to the gorge to learn about clan life. Firestar's presentation on this exciting new opportunity goes surprisingly well, and 3 more cats join. They have 2-leg and rogue names, but Firestar quickly renames everyone, so we won't get into that. Scratch becomes sharp.
He totally renames some of them. And some of them he just kind of adds to their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherry Paw. Okay.
Yeah.
Boris
Scratch.
Sparrow.
I've got them all here. I have the
I had
names.
no idea what to do with Boris.
I don't know who
Yeah,
or what Boris
What the
is.
fuck is Boris?
Which is just so funny because the writer chose these names. You can choose anything you want. We can't get too much.
Boris,
into it.
that must be some kind of bird.
Later.
So Sparrow Paw.
A Boris bored.
I believe the explanation is that he catches a sparrow during one of their hunts.
He does.
Like,
I think it's the
so
first thing he catches.
Yeah. But Cherry's good enough to just be part of a name. So
yeah, cats know what cherries are. They eat.
Yeah.
But not glass.
Well, they don't eat glass. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scratch becomes Sharp Claw because Scratch couldn't be used, I guess. I don't know. Clover becomes Clovertail. Cherry and Boris are renamed Cherry Paw and Sparrow Paw. And the new cats that join are Patchfoot, Short Whisker, and Leaf Dapple. Sky also gets renamed to Skywatcher. But he won't use this name long because he asked Firestar to visit him that night. Were you laughing at that?
I'm just laughing at he doesn't get to use the name long because it is less than 24 hours.
It's pretty quick. He asks Firestar to visit him. Firestar does. And Skywatcher is happy to see SkyClan forming, but tells Firestar that his loyalty will be tested, and then says that your clan is safe for now, but there will be 3 kin of your kin who hold the power of the stars in their paws. He then says farewell and asks Firestar to remember him in seasons to come. When Firestar visits the next morning, he finds that Skywatcher has died in his sleep.
It's so fucking sad.
It's really sad. He's also why is Firestar surprised to find him? Firestar's like, oh no. But the last thing Skywatcher said to him is like, farewell.
And remember me in the future, please.
It seems like he was gonna die.
Hey, we've talked about it before. Firestar is stupid. He's a dumbass.
He gave me kind of a weird prophecy. He said, remember me and farewell. And then the next morning, he didn't come to join everyone at our little club.
Gonna go wake up my still alive old friend.
Yeah.
And if you're confused about the prophecy and you're trying to figure out what that might mean, don't worry, it's not relevant to this book. That's for a different story arc, I think.
Yeah, I think it's for the 3rd story arc. Because the 3rd story arc is called The Power of 3, so I think it's about that.
Right. So, and this one was published when those books were coming out. Very, very funny to put this here.
Yeah.
Which that means we know that because of his two kids, one of them becomes a medicine cat, right?
Yeah.
So she's not having kids. So all 3 of these kids are going to be squirrel paws, right?
Or no, I think it's spoilers, but the end of this book heavily implies it's squirrel paw, leaf paw, and the white kit I think is Brightheart and whatever the nephew's name is, Cloudtail.
Oh, I thought they were kin of mine. Okay.
The prophecy is kin of your kin, though.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's directly his children.
Kids of your kids.
Maybe it is kids of kids then. I don't know.
We'll find out eventually. All right. We're grieving, but the cats don't have long to grieve as they begin the process of learning clan customs and setting their borders. They also explore a cave that the kits discovered with glowing moss and creepy whispers. Firestar quietly asks the ancestors to send a medicine cat. A few days later, Rainfur, who, despite his inexplicable warrior cat name, previously turned down the chance to join SkyClan, comes to them asking for help. His mate Petal and their kits are trapped with an abusive two-leg who isn't feeding them enough. Firestar takes a group of cats who pull a distraction so Firestar and Rainfur can slip into the two-leg nest and rescue these cats. They all agree to stay with SkyClan, at least for now.
Was he Rainfur before? I thought he was like Rain that. I thought it was
the whole time.
Rain for the whole time?
The entire time. We'll get into this. Spoilers, okay. He joins the clan, doesn't get a new name. He just stays Rainfur. No one ever goes, weird that you have a warrior cat name.
I will defend this because I think it's one of those things where it's like insight that these cats are descended from a clan. That it's like, you know, they also have the weird thing where they're like, if we fall asleep after a cat dies, then we'll die, which is like kind of a mangled version of what the clans do, and like them being able to like jump and stuff. So I think that's what was intended. It's weird that Firestar never goes, this is funny that he has a clan name. Like, he never...
That's all I want. All I want...
Yeah.
Right. All I want... It's not that weird that he has the name. All I want is, at one point, one of the characters to be like, oh, this must be irrelevant. Like, it just never comes up. It's so weird. Anyway, during these few weeks, Firestar has been feeling this occasional sense of being watched by an evil presence. He finally learns what this is and solves the mystery of what happened to the last Sky Clan, when a patrol is attacked by rats near an abandoned barn, and Patchfoot is badly hurt. Sandstorm, who had done her best to learn from Cinderpelt for this mission, tries to help Patchfoot, but the need for a medicine cat becomes very obvious. While they try to figure out what to do, the cats investigate the barn and are met by a leader rat who actually speaks to them, telling them to leave or they will be killed like the cats that lived in the gorge before. They return and Firestar calls a meeting, rallying the nascent clan to stand their ground and fight the rats. Shortly after, Spotted Leaf appears with herbs for Patchfoot because she's the most special girl and can interact with the physical world, I guess. She also tells Sandstorm that Firestar loves her best, even if he still feels for Spotted Leaf. 3 days later, another member of Star Clan visits as Skywatcher comes to tell them that their medicine cat is coming, but not with the clan yet. Firestar takes Sparrowpaw out to look for this cat and finds a cat named Echo, who says she dreams of cats with stars in their fur. She eagerly joins the clan and is renamed Echo Song. A few days later, Sky Clan is attacked in the middle of the night by the swarm of rats. They are eventually driven back, but many of the cats are injured. Petal and Rainfur officially join the clan, and Petal becomes Petalnose. Rainfur, however, just keeps his name and no one says anything. The cats finally take the fight to the rats, charging the barn. They try to draw the rats outside the barn. Rainfur gets trapped. Firestar jumps in to try and help him, but loses a life in the process. After a brief moment in the Whispering Cave with the ancient Sky Clan leader, he returns to life outside the barn with the other cats, minus Rainfur, who did not survive. Spotted Leaf, who may be the actual protagonist at this point, whispers in Firestar's ear that he needs to find the leader rat. Firestar follows the body signals of the rats to the leader, whom he leaps in to attack. He quickly kills him, and with the leader dead, the other rats scatter. The day after, Short Whisker tells the clan he was scared to die and doesn't feel cut out for clan life, so he retakes his old name, Hutch, and leaves to be a kitty pet again. Time passes, and winter begins to draw close, but Firestar is reluctant to leave until he can make sure the clan is settled with a leader. Thankfully, Echo Song comes to him, having seen a vision of the sun shining through the leaves onto the ground. Leaf Dapple is that chosen leader. Firestar and Echo Song take Leaf Dapple to the Sky Rock to meet the ancestors. They get to watch as she gets her lives. First from the old Sky Clan leader, then Skywatcher, her mother, Spotted Leaf for her fourth life, and then the 4 old clan leaders from when Sky Clan was kicked out of the forest. I guess this is supposed to make up for that. Last to come...
That's a pretty big... Magically giving someone an extra life. I don't know. I'd probably let bygones be bygones.
We kicked the entire clan out of the forest, and then they got scattered, and a bunch of them died. But we gave one leader 4 lives. But I could die 4 times
and still be okay.
Pretty cool. Sucks for everyone else.
Yeah.
Last to come is Birdflight, the old Sky Clan leader's mate, and she brings their kits Spotted Pelt and Gorseclaw. They stayed when the clan left and grew up in Thunder Clan.
Melanie's beef for Gorse continues.
When I saw the name Gorseclaw, I was like, I have to know what Melanie's thinking.
I literally wrote in my notes, "Boo, boo."
I love it. I love it. It feels right for
Gorse.
Thunder Clan. They stayed in the clan and grew up in Thunder Clan. Spotted Pelt bears a strong likeness to Spotted Leaf, and Gorseclaw looks a lot like Tiger Star. Firestar starts to maybe put a few pieces together, but he can never be too sure because when is he ever sure? Anyway, a new Star Clan has formed here, and Sky Clan has their leader, Leaf Star. She calls a meeting where she names Sharpclaw her deputy and makes Cherry Paw and Sparrow Paw into warriors, Cherry Tail and Sparrow Pelt. Sky Clan is once more complete. With that, Firestar and Sandstorm leave. 3 months later, Firestar, back with Thunder Clan, goes to meet Sandstorm, who has just delivered their children, Squirrel Kit and Leaf Kit. Firestar watches over them and ponders on the prophecy he was given. Could the 3 cats with the power of the stars come from his daughters? I'm sure we'll find out eventually. And that's Firestar's quest.
Whew! Margo, you did such a good job. I couldn't do what you do. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this book made it a lot easier. I got to cut out huge sections.
Yeah, also, I should say, we were supposed to do this episode last week, which is partially just, in my mind, we set it for last week, and then I didn't look at the dates and assumed it was this week, so when I was, reading, I was like, I still have an extra week. And then we actually were like, we need more time. So we pushed it to this week when it was supposed to be last week.
I finished it this morning. So.
I finished it last night. Yeah, it took me and I started reading it a while ago, so it took me a while to get through. I can't remember where I have this in my notes. The first thing that I want to talk about, just really quick, how did we benefit in any way from reading this book in the continuity we read it in, which is the continuity that the Warrior Cats website suggests?
Every reading guide. I saw multiple reading guides.
Read it after midnight. Read it after midnight. What did we benefit? We could have read it before. Nothing.
Or in publication order.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was going to have something that either connected back to midnight that would have spoiled midnight. Maybe Midnight herself would show up in this or something. Or it would set things up, but I think it only sets up the next arc. Why don't we read this at the end of arc 2 or something? Yes. The only thing I can get is that it is thematically similar.
It's thematically similar.
But then I'm like, give me a break between those two themes. I
would read it before. It doesn't make any sense. I would read it before midnight. Granted, I don't know what the next series is, so I don't know. It sets up why the twins are special. I guess what I'm saying is if I, at this point in time, were telling people what order to read these books in, I would say read Firestar's Quest, then read Midnight. Because then it's okay, and then midnight, the twins are born, all this stuff is happening. I don't know what we gained by reading it after midnight, which is when it was, when it's recommended to read it.
I found it very unsatisfying to have the naming ceremony in this one of Brambleclaw, becoming Brambleclaw. We already knew that he was Brambleclaw. We already knew that because we read the first one of this next series. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Which isn't really a gripe with the book. I just don't know why. Everything that I was reading was it's kind of some of the super editions, you have to read them in kind of an awkward way because they take place during other things. So I get that. I get that it's kind of hard to place, but this one seems pretty straightforward. It takes place between the first and second series. Read it between the first and second series.
I think that would make perfect sense.
There's a couple things that are foreshadowing, that stuff is going to happen, but it could work as foreshadowing if you read it before that stuff happens. I don't know. And okay, so
I thought that this might mean, because we read, they didn't mention SkyClan at all in that first book, and I'm wondering if like SkyClan will get mentioned, that Firestar was just away for so long doing this thing, and it's just like, is that going to be brought up at all, or?
I wouldn't think so though, because this didn't get published until after the second arc was fully written and out. Like,
oh shit, okay.
Unless they really had it planned and then there's a weird reference in there, I doubt there's any sort of reference to this until much later. So it's not like setting up something that's going to get explained. Or if it does explain it, that still would have been in the original reading order, like publication order. You would have read it in that way.
Yeah. I don't know. People in the comments in chat, like Call Me Z said, a majority of the super editions connect directly to the main books. I've only read like 4 of the super editions, and I still know everything that's going on. And then Mace said, I don't think that Leaf Pond Squirrel Paw feel any more special or notable in retrospect, and don't try to apply any logic to Aaron Hunter ends in misery.
This is sound advice.
Yeah,
I should
good
really
advice. No, I will not, because I have to try and force logic onto it. That's what will make this fun for me.
It's reminding me of the logic aspect. It's just an excuse for me to talk about the other weird thing that I'm doing right now, which is watching One Piece. And there's a part in One Piece when they get to the Grand Line where someone says, like, forget common sense, logic doesn't work here. And I was like, this is just basically saying, hey, suspension of disbelief is gonna be a major requirement of watching this series. Because yeah, nothing makes any fucking sense. But it's so funny to have someone turn to the camera and say, hey, don't think too hard about any of this.
This isn't gonna make sense. Give it up.
This isn't gonna make sense. Okay. What else do we want to talk about? What's a big thing?
So before we really get into it, I'm gonna say, starting off up top, I'm going to 100% get cats' names wrong, because there's so many new cats that we're introduced to in this. And a lot of name changes also of those cats. So I will forget and have to be prompted by you two.
Cat Hell is mentioned towards the beginning of the book. He canonically says that Tiger Claw is not in StarClan, which is something that we've wondered about a lot. I know that's a big thing later, but you know. I can also tell this book was written after some of the others, because they are calling cats mates. And before, I don't think they ever referred to cats that way.
No.
It is kind of a bummer to me, because cats don't mate for life, and it makes Graystripe's story less compelling, since now all cats have soulmates. Like, before it was like, oh, Graystripe's kind of different from these other cats, because they kind of just mate with whoever, and it's like, you know, how cats are, but Graystripe has, like, one true love, and, like, even Firestar is in love with 2 different, well, actually, Firestar is in love with 3 different cats. So
he's got a real thing for medicine cats, huh? Just a real thing for them.
So anyway, those were a couple. There was also at the beginning Hattie, which I don't know if got mentioned in the recap.
No.
But Firestar is awfully dismissive of kitty pets when he's talking about Smudge. And also Smudge is the most British cat of all time, like in the parts that he's in. He's just like, oh, well, I don't know what I could possibly do here. I'm so frightened of these dreams I'm having. And like, it just is so, the way he talks is so British. It's very funny. And Hattie is a little hussy, aka a pussy. Is what I wrote.
Oh, a hussy.
A pussy or a hussy. Which is a pussycat hussy. Also, Hattie mentions not wanting to catch and kill birds even for fun, and I was like, she's like not a cat, kind of.
What?
Like,
I also clocked that as being weird.
Once again, the prologue betrays any amount of surprise in this book. Like, I understand what they're doing, but it always leads to later on when cats show up, it doesn't feel like it has, I don't know, the story doesn't have a lot of weight when I already know what the twist is based on what's happened in the prologue there.
They're also like needlessly vague half the time.
Yeah.
Where they're like hard to read, and then it's not a spoiler for anyone. It spoils like it takes away the tension out of a big reveal, but that's like, but you don't know the name of this leader cat because like no one said it yet, so you don't know who the. I'm like, who cares? Just put. They're not gonna show up again.
Yeah.
This one, I think it did have the fact that like bird flight, right, is the mate of Cloudstar, says like she'll wait for him forever, and then like at the very end is like, I told you I'd wait forever. Like I literally got goosebumps at the end there. So it's like
I really liked that.
It was so sweet and wonderful. I loved it. Also, we all three of us said this outside of here. This book did not need to be as long as it was.
No.
There was parts where they were really pussyfooting around, and I didn't appreciate it.
It's so thick.
It's like 14 hours long to listen to.
510 pages, I think.
And the thing is, I kind of like parts of that. Like it's the same thing with Midnight. I liked a lot of them exploring around the Two Lake places. Like it just felt very like fantasy quest bullshit stuff. But none of it comes back up again. I was going back through my notes. There are 5 chapters. I joke about it in the recap, but I genuinely took 5 chapters and they were running around. Like, there are a bunch of cats. There's a whole lot of going in and out of Two Lake places. None of it is relevant again. They don't learn anything. They don't meet anybody. They don't pick up anything. They like meet a bunch of cats that never show up again. It's like I was like, oh, he's gonna come back and meet these cats again, and they're gonna join Sky Clan. No, they just don't show up again.
Are you talking about when they talk specifically to each cat? Like,
no.
Stick and Shorty and like.
I liked Stick. Stick and Cora.
Yeah, Stick, Cora, Shorty. There was another one that was like an SH name. 2 of them had really similar names, and I got faked out because then, Skywatcher says, "Oh, I had a sibling, Twig," and I was like, "Oh, that's the one they talked to earlier," and I was like, "Oh no, that one was named Stick." So I'm like, don't fucking name them so similar, and then it's not. I don't know. There's some writing choices sometimes where I'm like, guys,
what are we
another
doing?
editing pass, perhaps, on some of these things. Don't name one cat Stick and one cat Twig, and they're not related at all, and one of them kind of doesn't matter.
Rose and Lily are the ones I think you're thinking of had similar name. No, you're talking about Stick and okay.
Yeah.
Rose and Lily. You two didn't listen to the audiobook.
Oh.
They had the worst fucking voices I've ever heard. Thank StarClan that they weren't invited into to the group. I'm so glad that they declined that. Like the fact that they were like, we're not gonna go. Just some of the worst. It was really bad. There's some parts later on in the book, like when we meet Skywatcher. I love his voice. The rats. I wrote down "Run, Don't Walk" to get this audiobook because it's so good. But I don't know. It's like really good on that hand, but then like Rose and Lily pretty much are. I can't. I'll try to clip it and I'll put it into the Discord because it's heinous.
Yeah.
Scott McCloud's a genius, but some of the voices he chooses, someone should have said no.
Yes.
Hey, don't do that. I mean, to be fair to him, they are described as weird, annoying, high-pitched voices in the book.
Well, he delivers. in that way, Mace, actually great acting.
Yeah, he's doing what he's been being told to do, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, also, were they Siamese cats based on the description? Because I was like, this is kind of weird. Like, why is that such a trope that Siamese cats, there's 2 of them? And, like, I was like, okay, I don't really know what's going on. The way they were described sounded that way because they had really blue eyes and they had
Oh
like
yeah.
the way
Light
that it
fur,
just
but ends of their furs colored.
yes, and their faces were like a different color or something. So I was like, I think they're supposed to be Siamese cats.
Yeah.
Mila says racism.
Yeah, like they're not described as like it did remind me of the two Siamese cats in whatever Disney movie that is. They're not just they're not described that way. The only similarity is that they're, I guess, weird, and there's two of them. But I'm like, why is this such a trope? Oh, Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't remember if it was Lady and the Tramp or Aristocats.
I mean, there's a bad Siamese cat.
Okay, so
I would say there's a bad representation of the Siamese cat in that one.
Siamese cat racism.
That's weird.
While we're talking about names,
unfortunately common.
I would like to talk about the fact that I don't think that Leaf Dapple's mom is named at the end there when she gives the life.
Oh,
it's just
right.
like, that's my mom, Leaf Dapple's mom. And
not all the dead cats can be that fleshed out. I mean, we've already got Spotted.
We couldn't throw together a name for her. She gave a life, and she can't have a name.
To be honest, we did not need to see her getting the cat, getting her lives. I get why it's in there. There's a couple. Oh, I feel like it's weird because I don't know. It felt like it was supposed to be like a private. It's weird that to me that the other two just get to like Echo Song and Firestar just get to watch it happen. Like I thought it happened in like a mystical Star Clan realm, and here it's just like they just get to watch it, which is
felt
weird to me. And also, this is one of my gripes: is I love the idea that it's 8 different cats that come and give you a life and like impart some sort of wisdom. We've seen it happen twice now. I don't think they had 8 cats either time. They really had to struggle. Fucking Spotted Leaf shows up. Why is Spotted Leaf?
The Sky Clan was dead. There's no Sky Clan anymore. What do you want? They didn't even know their ancestors were fucking around anymore. They weren't even connected to them. What do you want? Yeah, there's not 8 of them to give a life. They were dead. They were gone. They weren't even in Star Clan.
I'm saying logically, not even Sky Clan cats. Logically in the book, they can't they can't decide to write enough side characters in to make this work. So they're like, I guess her mom? We're not going to bother with a name.
They're all dead. They're all dead.
Spotted Leaf gets special dispensation from Star Clan to travel wherever she wants because she's so special.
Wild.
She's a medicine cat. They're not. Do I have to remind you? The medicine cats aren't loyal to clans. They're loyal to the warrior code. So she can do what she wants because she's a medicine cat. Even in Star Clan, she's a medicine cat. Okay, she can go to whatever clan she wants to. Do I have to remind you of the canon of how all this works?
I know the canon.
She had to go to these other skies just so that she could walk by Firestar to be like, sometimes I wish things could be different things could have been different between us. What are we doing here?
What would happen if I had lived?
I'm so glad that pretty much all the writers for the series are women, so I can go, okay, I don't have to be mad at a man about this. I don't have to be mad at a man for having a horny dead cat.
I'm mad at them. I'm mad at them for this.
I know, but I'd rather be mad at a woman.
There's literally like no chemistry between them. The fact that he partially names one of his kids after her is so fucked up. That's like naming your kid after a coworker who you had the hots for. That's so fucked up.
That is such a crazy comparison. It's like naming one of your kids after a priest that you were in love with who died.
Oh, like Hot Priest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Think about it that way. Imagine if you knew Hot Priest. Wouldn't you name a kid after him, even if you married a different cat?
Yeah, when it keeps leading to you and your partner getting into fights about whether or not you are fully devoted to your partner or to this dead cat that you never even did anything with, you just had a crush on because you like the way she
he's still smelling her. He's still smelling her. He's
I
smelling her.
it's
Her
so
sweet
funny.
scent. Stop smelling her sweet scent, you pervert. You're married.
It's so funny that
That scent's the scent of death. She's
Sandstorm
gone.
keeps getting mad about it. And if you think about this in like real life at all, it's like she's jealous of a dead cat. She keeps being like, "You love her, not me." It's like she's fucking dead. Sorry, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you're with someone, they die. You are with someone else. You just have to be okay with that. I know. That's why it's even funnier though, because it's like, yeah, he had a crush on her, and he can't control his dreams. If anything, she's the Spotted Leaf is the problem. She keeps showing up. He can't control that.
Wow.
He can't control what skies she walks into and out of.
Sandstorm Truther? What?
What does that
Maze.
mean?
I need to know more.
What does Sandstorm Truther mean?
Also,
Sandstorm was born in Kenya. That's what that means.
Sandstorm was okay with being a throuple in a throuple with Graystripe, but a deceased cat is where she draws the line.
Yeah.
Truly.
Internalized misogyny.
Truly. The one of the things that does make me think, when one of the things I pointed out, or I noted, when Firestar and Sandstorm leave, Graystripe touches noses with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, touches noses with both of them, and then to Firestar says, "I'll wait for you however long it takes."
Yes, I wrote this down as well.
I didn't write that down because I was like, these two sickos are gonna write that down.
Yeah. This book, I know both of you felt differently. This book felt like a desert of gay content to me. Like after we feasted in the last couple, this one barely anything. But that moment, that carried it over.
That moment's great. And also, it like beautifully echoes Cloudstar and Birdflight telling each other that they'll wait for each other forever. So, like,
yeah,
I think that's some good writing right there. And it's so gay.
It's so gay and beautiful.
Also, I wrote in my notes as they were about to head back, I'm like, they're gonna come back and Graystripe will be dead from a broken heart. I'm just like waiting so long.
Yeah, months. Like 3 or 4 months, I think.
That's so many moons.
It's so, the timeline. Can I just say the timeline real quick, where it doesn't make any sense to me? At one point, Firestar thinks about it being like a moon's worth of travel between the ThunderClan camp and the Gorge. But I think at that point, if you track what's actually written in the book, it is like a couple of weeks maybe, and not even a straight journey. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't track. I do not think a month passes by the time they get there.
The Bible. So for people who don't know, I guess, like anybody watching, like books like this that are written by multiple people and are like series usually have like a Bible. It's like it's written by like the showrunner, so I guess Victoria Holmes is probably would be in charge of that kind of thing, where it's like these are the characters, these are their like descriptions, these are their main attributes, this is like the timeline, all of that stuff. Because when multiple people are writing books, you have to have stuff that they're all like adhering to. I can't imagine that they're referencing that much, because I'll talk about this more in Person of Hiss, but there are a lot of inconsistencies where I'm like, nobody's double checking these things, and like the times, the descriptions of cats, the historical record. There's a lot of inconsistencies that I'm like, I don't know, this is like a huge series that's making, I think, a lot of money, so it's weird that they're not a little bit more careful with that kind of thing.
Absolutely agreed. One of the really egregious ones in this book is that Firestar, before he dies, thinks about, like at one point he's thinking about says he has 6 lives left. He has 8. I double checked on the wiki, like, and it shows up in one of the like canon inconsistencies.
Yeah.
He's only lost 1 life at this point.
What I'm imagining, it's also kind of like a spoiler then, because then we know that some point, I think between, because of when this was written, it's like, okay, so he probably loses 2 lives during the course of the new prophecy.
So
yeah. They're going off of
be.
like, oh, he currently has 6 lives, and they just go off of that, is what I'm guessing.
I guess, honestly, I just think it's mistake, like just a random number picked out or a guess or something. Like
Yeah.
it's not the first time lives specifically have just been weirdly changed between books.
Yeah.
Xavier TLK in chat brings up Sandstorm's pregnancy making no sense.
Yeah.
Unless she cats are pregnant shorter than in real life. I actually was looking at that, trying to figure out what cat gestation times, at the average gestation time, and it's 65 days.
So they fucked on
so
the way home.
yeah, it would seem that way.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got that settled.
It feels
Cool.
like it could work.
We gotta know when they're fucking.
I was really worried early on when they were fighting that it was going to come out that like she's being bitchy because she's pregnant actually. Like that was what was going to come up. And I was going to be really mad about that if that happened.
Yeah, the jealousy part really sucks because it's just bullshit. It's stupid. I hate it. Sandstorm is actually pretty cool in this book and gets to do some things. Like when they decide to go off on the journey, I kind of gloss over it in the recap, but she goes to Cinderpelt and is like, teach me everything you know so I can, because we're not taking a medicine cat and we're traveling for a while. She is by Firestar's side. She is giving him advice. She's calling him out on his bullshit. She is trying to remember all these things, like get this flash training and remember it. She's great. And then also half of her arc is about being jealous over a dead cat.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked I don't know how to word this. I like that Sandstorm is kind of a complex character. She's very quick to anger, but she's also capable of being very sweet and very like emotionally mature. She has better people skills than Firestar has. And she's essentially his deputy in this book for Sky Clan, which I really liked. I also liked that we got to see more of their relationship, and even though it was conflict, it felt more real, and I can only imagine that like the rest of the books don't really get into that much, like the complexities of their relationship, because the series, the New Prophecy series, I think is mostly not about Firestar. I think it's about the kids. Although I could be wrong about that. So I liked it. I didn't think it was that well done, but there were things about it that I was like, oh, okay, it is kind of cool to see this. And even though it's like silly that she's jealous, it also I think kind of makes sense. Like it not makes sense. I don't know. I kind of liked it because it is like it's a flaw of hers, right? Like her being jealous about this is a flaw. So I don't know. I liked it.
I don't know. Is it a flaw? Because like Spotted Leaf is showing up in his dreams and is like, what could have been? Like, yeah, I'd be pissed too.
I guess because she's dead is the thing. But yeah, I guess her spirit is still hanging around. But kind of, Sandstorm gets the last laugh because she gets to have Tiger Star's kids. So ghosts can't.
Tiger Stars.
Sorry, Firestar.
Whoa!
Spoiler.
Sorry, I forgot about a spoiler I read.
Oh shit!
No, I just don't know their names. I want to talk about this really briefly. It's something from earlier in the book. But when Willowpelt died, I had to look her up because I could not remember very much about her. She's not one of the like more major cats. I don't think it's been established in these books yet. That's not really I don't think it's that big of a spoiler. Surprisingly, she's Graystripe's mom, and she's also Darkstripe's mom. Graystripe and Darkstripe are half brothers or full brothers, I don't know. But this must have been decided later, because Graystripe is the one who sees Darkstripe poison Sorrelkit, who, by the way, is his half sister. So Graystripe sees his, I think, full brother, I can't remember. Graystripe sees his brother poison their half sister and attacks him And I feel like it should have been more meaningful that he was attacked by his own brother, because there were people who were like, oh, we don't know if we can trust Graystripe, and like we have to wait until Sorrel gets awake. Like that was a huge plot point. But I feel like it's pretty meaningful that it's like, well, it was his own brother who did this, so that seemed like that's kind of crazy. And also, because these relationships aren't established most of the time, it gives this odd effect where kits that we see their parentage and we know everything about them really care about who they're related to. But then as soon as they grow up, it like doesn't matter to them. Graystripe does not mourn his mother dying. Like the kittens do, obviously, like Sorrel Kit and the other two do. But Graystripe, there's like no mention of it or anything, and I think it's just because it wasn't established yet. Like I think when this book was written, they hadn't decided that was his mom, so he doesn't care. It's really crazy. Melanie's face.
Sorry, Xavier in chat says, because Spotted Leaf was Sandstorm's aunt for the longest time until recently. What?
That's like so wild.
They just throw in like, honestly, I love it. It's ridiculous, but the fact that there are just these wild retcons, without seemingly considering any of the ramifications.
Yeah. I wish that they would just, it would make more sense if they were just like, oh yeah, there's more cats than we're naming. Like the clan is bigger than what's being named. We're just not talking about all of them. So then if a new cat shows up, it's like, oh yeah, this cat's been in the clan for a while. They just haven't really like been a part of the story. But it seems like they're like, no, the cats we name are all there are. So they have to be related. And it's weird. Okay, Collies says originally Patchpelt and Willowpelt were stated to be Graystripe's parents on the original website, but then the authors accidentally made Patchpelt and Willowpelt siblings. So they retconned Patchpelt being his dad, but kept Willowpelt his mom. That's so funny. So what we're getting at is it's not that big of a deal that I was shipping White Storm and Blue Star.
Let them not care about that. Let it be. Let it not be a thing. They're fucking cats, okay? And
I mean, they are, yeah, they are. This book, it's interesting. We started to see this happen at midnight, towards the end of the first series, and at midnight, and I think that this book really is clearly written further down the line because of how the cats' relationships are treated. Like relationships are not a thing for cats in the early books, and now it's like everybody has a mate and they're mating for life. And it just clearly is like human behavior. I don't care for it. I loved in the early books that the cats acted like cats. There's more and more human behavior getting applied to the cats, and this one, I think because we're reading it out of publication order, really stands out because some of that creeps in, I expect, over the next like 3 years or whatever.
It's conservative propaganda. It's people saying kids. I'm being a little tongue in cheek, but is this idea of like, well, some things kids can't have, like another thing that I made a note of is marking territory. They never specify what marking territory is, which is pissing. These cats are pissing on things. They artfully write around it, and it's like, just say they piss on stuff. Like, it's and that is like a pretty marked change from the no pun intended, from the first book, where they're like, these cats are getting their balls cut off. Like, they call it the cutter. And then it's like kind of, I think what's happening is the first book, the author was very young. I don't think the publisher knew that it was going to be such a success. And so once it's like kids are actually reading this, then it's like, okay, well, the cats can't have sex with whoever. Like, we have to tone down some of this stuff. They can still die, and it can be really violent. But no sex, no piss. It's like, okay, come on. Kids can handle a little sex.
And they can't be related, ideally.
They will be accidentally related, but...
Yeah, we'll make them related, but it won't be on purpose. Okay, what are other things? We got to talk about the rats, right? We haven't even talked about the rats.
Creepy as hell. Creepy as hell. Genuinely worked for me.
Yeah.
So scary. The way that they were described as uh they were moving, they were organizing and making no sound. And that's so scary. Oh my god, I loved it. I loved also their audio, which I mean, you two didn't get to hear.
Yeah.
But them being like, "Die, cat," is so much fun.
And they're fucking meowing. They're meowing.
Well, the one is meowing.
When cat is meowing when he says "Die, cats." He's meowing.
Yeah, it's so good. Imagine harboring so much hate that you learn a language just to be able to threaten your enemies with it. And also, like, the cat lifespans and rat lifespans pretty different. So like these generations of rats, there is like one rat that is teaching another rat to the cat language so that if the cats ever come back, that they can take them out again. That's incredible. And it makes so much sense that rats would hate cats like this, that they would have that amount of hatred. The fact that fucking Firestar is like, it's not right for cats to be feeling like prey while they're walking across like whatever wherever they are, and it's like that. And you don't think further than that, huh? You don't think about how these like rats have like lives and like their own like their own families. Yeah. You're just like, well, no, they're prey, so like.
I actually,
they should feel like that.
That ties into something, which is, I think it occurs to me, wild stray cats aren't exactly the best vehicle to tell stories about environmental destruction, because they are pretty much an invasive species that destroys their environment. Like, it's objectively bad that there's all these cats running around killing everything. Like, there's prey scarcity partially because of these cats, and they know that, because that's why they're like, stay off our turf. You're gonna kill all our stuff. Because they know cats are like that, so it is funny.
Oh man. Speaking of stay off our turf, at the very beginning, when Bluestar is trying to explain to Firestar why it's fine that SkyClan was run off, I believe it's her saying that like there's perfect balance, like the forest is perfectly divided. I'm like, is it perfectly divided? Because literally you're fighting about borders all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here?
It's also funny that they're like, there's 5 clans in the forest, because when that's a big plot point, or like metaphorical plot point, I guess, in the final book of the last series, where Bluestar's like, there's actually 5 clans in the forest, and one of them is Star Clan, and it's so funny that it's like, and by the way, not to get into this too much, but technically there used to be 6. Like, there's also another clan that we kind of had.
We don't want to talk about that. We don't.
There's a lot of reasoning of being like, well, it's always been this way. For like there always being 5 clans, always being 4 clans, whatever. And it's like, that's not a good reason. That's not a good reason at all. And I'm actually really proud. Firestar can be a real dumbass, but he talks back to Bluestar and is like, that's not sound reasoning, that like, oh, 4 clans for the 4 trees. Like, that doesn't make any sense, what you're saying.
It's one of my favorite lines.
Yeah, same. It's one of my favorite lines. Because it comes up a couple times, like in that prologue, and then again with Bluestar, they're like, well, maybe there should only be 4 clans. In fact, there's only 4 trees at 4 trees, which is wildly stupid reasoning. And Firestar, of all people, calls this out. The line, I have the full line here. It's, are you mouse-brained? He snarled. Are you telling me SkyClan had to leave because there weren't enough trees?
Yeah, so funny.
And this is, again, another line where it was clear that they should have been allowed to let the cats swear, because this should be, there aren't enough fucking trees.
Yeah, I wrote that on too. It's also so funny because it is so true to real life, though, like how people kind of like rationalize horrific acts where they're like, well, it's kind of, it makes more sense for there to, like that is kind of how real life is, which I do like
Oh,
about these
yeah.
books. Consistently, they're pretty accurate about, like, I guess human nature, which is transferred through cats.
It totally makes sense. It's also just stupid reasoning, and I love that they
Yeah.
call that out.
Yeah, Xavier in chat said Blue Star immediately becoming StarClan's biggest propagandist after death is the funniest part of the series. Because she right up until she dies, she's like, I hate StarClan. They lied to me. They hate me. They have it out for me. They're traitors. And then she is like, actually, they're good. And then she dies, and she's
They're
like,
pretty good.
listen, we can't really do that much about stuff going on, and like, you really don't understand. Our hands are kind of tied.
It happened. What are we gonna do about it? They're better off now. You know, if they all
Yeah.
died, they're all dead. Oh well.
They're all pretty much dead. No point in doing anything. Don't really listen to them. Yeah, Blue Star complicated. A complicated woman.
Wow.
Truly, truly.
A little quirk that I noticed for the first time in this book. I think I maybe have thought about it before. I don't think these books ever use the word said when in dialogue.
Don't think they
Purred,
do.
meowed,
Purred, meowed,
yowled.
some other variant, and then they
Hissed,
also
snarled.
very artfully, in my opinion, write around it. So like someone will say something and then they'll just like have a descriptive word about like Patch Pelt was like standing before whatever, which I'm normally kind of a like hater of people overly avoiding said, because I'm like, just say said, it kind of fades into the background. But I didn't notice they weren't using it until this book, so they do that pretty well. Because I didn't notice it, and normally I pick up on that really quickly. So I liked that. It's weird what they're consistent with. They're consistent with that. Consistent with paw.
I mean, that's
pelt.
an easy thing to just like, Control F,
Right.
find all the times you say said, and be like, oh, let's just fix that real quick.
Yeah, that's true.
We're pretty committed to this. Small gripe, but how were the cats throwing stones at Firestar?
Because we don't see them throw, right? We just see the stones fall, right? So I was imagining they were like nudging them, like through.
I don't know. He said that they threw them at him. So they kept throwing them at him. Catapult, mace. I swear to God.
Genius.
I swear to StarClan.
There along that lines, the cats do use their tails for a wild purpose in this book. 2 or 3 times, one of them will use their tail to cover the other's mouth to silence them, which cannot be actually possible, but is very cool to me. Like, as a visual, is very cool.
Yeah.
But for books that really try to hit like a logic, like an internal logic consistent with the real world, wild that it comes up like 3 times.
Melanie pointed out, I think last episode, trying to imagine the cats carrying each other when they're dead, because that is also something that doesn't really make sense they can do. Like, what are they have them on their shoulders and they're just like,
yeah,
I assume just like drag them with their mouth.
Well, they said that the elder cats carried Blue Star.
Yeah,
as like that's a thing that the elders get to do.
Yeah, and I think Sky Watcher got carried in this one too, which I guess maybe they're getting dragged, but then it's not really worded that way. It doesn't seem like they're getting dragged around. It seems like they're bearing them like a coffin on their backs, I guess. I don't know.
The way they move is so weird. Talking about their tails, there's so many points in this where Firestar is like putting it says that he puts the tip of his tail like on the shoulder of like the cats he's mentoring, and I'm like, keep your tail tip to yourself, guy.
They've been doing that since the beginning, though. I think.
I know. I don't like how much he's doing it.
I like it because I feel like that's very cattish. So
it's just very like it's just a small tail tip. Just like, I don't like that.
It reminds me, their tails remind me of in the putt games, how the cars just have little, like, things that come out of them.
Yeah, what is that?
Little, like, strings or something. That's kind of what the tails remind me of.
Yeah,
Mel, do you
hundreds.
have more? I have a couple more things.
I have a few more things that we can just go through real quick. I think I would be bummed if at my naming ceremony I became blank tail. That feels lazy.
Yeah.
Um
I saw a TikTok about that recently. I've been getting a lot of Warrior Cats TikToks, and there was somebody who was like, if I was a cat and I went from something paw to something foot, I would kill myself.
Lose it. I would lose it.
And I feel like tail, pelt, it's like, come on.
Come on.
Think of something better.
Something. Speaking of that, I think that Sky Watcher has a perfect clan name.
Yes.
He only had it for a short period of time, but boy,
It
howdy
killed
did
him.
it sum him up.
It
Killed
was
him.
such a good name that it killed him.
Yeah. Okay. Recruiting kitty pets at older ages that they did, that means that like probably they've all gone to the cutter and they're not gonna be any use in this clan. Like
any use.
I mean, for
Wow.
perpetuating the plan.
Melanie
Wow.
Genesis. Melanie
Whoa, whoa,
Genesis
whoa,
art.
whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa! We're establishing
these
a plan.
These
Come on.
cats are useless.
Come on.
They're no good
They
to
don't
us.
have balls or wombs or whatever. Kick him to the curb. Imagine if they were named like that. Like, imagine there was a cat named, there was a kitty pet that joined, and Tiger Claw, or not Tiger Claw, Firestar was like, and for you, your warrior cat name is No Balls.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like Leaf Womb.
No, because some of them, like One Eye or
Yeah.
Lost Phase or whatever, are named for
Lost
their
Balls.
disabilities. I don't like the name Hatch. Let's name you something more appropriate. Lost Balls.
Do we think that he was so scared of dying? It feels like it's implied that like he was maybe fixed. Like he wasn't cut out for clan life.
Are you saying he both figuratively and literally had no balls?
Yeah. I think so.
Firestar is like, okay, your name's Lost Balls, and then Hatch is like, actually, I think I just want to go back to my
I think I'm being bullied.
If I'm gonna get bullied, I'm going home.
Maybe short whisker is like euphemistic. Like it's kind of like, oh, he's got a short whiskers. Whiskers.
Whoa,
you know what I mean?
whoa! Grabbing him by the
Oh.
whiskers. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't give an
short
explanation
whiskers.
for that name. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Firestar looked underneath the hood. And was
Whoa.
like, short whiskers.
Incredible.
He's got a real short whisker, if you know what I mean.
I only have. Do I have one more? I think I only have one more thing. I can talk about one of these other things for my Purr later on.
Okay.
Bioessentialism in these books. The fact that all Sky Clan cats have like strong jumping legs and hard pads, that's not how that works. Like you adapt to your environment. Like
is that not what
their
they're
generations?
implying, though?
Yeah. There's like cats who are like several removed from like, oh my god, from the original Sky Clan cats. And they still have like great jumping, like hind legs and thicker paw pads.
They still would, right? Isn't that what? Because evolutionarily, they would still have those genes. Because it's only been 2 generations of cats, right?
Has it only been 2?
Sky is
2 or 3. Sky's grandma was in Sky Clan, so maybe 3 generations. I feel like that would stick around if it was pretty ingrained.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that it's like all Sky Clans have these things. Yeah. All Shadow Clan cats are sneaky and can disappear.
That is not evolutionarily. We did learn in this book that Shadow Clan is the only clan that eats lizards, which must be why they're evil.
Yeah,
because they eat lizards.
Yeah, pretty evil.
You think the
behavior.
lizards would ever rise up?
I hope so. I can only hope. I actually want there to be a book about that rat. That main rat who had so much hate in his heart. I'm like, what's that about?
Also, wild rats live like a couple years at best, which means they've been passing down the knowledge and hatred of cats, and specifically the knowledge that they drove out cats in that gorge for countless generations, which is
Yes.
wild.
Being like, we did it before, we'll do it again. So long ago. Incredible.
Yeah. I have one more thing that I think fits into this section, which is, even though we're going pretty long, I know that Firestar means well with the naming ceremony and all the stuff that he's teaching, but especially in, like, the middle part of the book, it comes across so cultish and, like, incomprehensible to the cats. And it really feels like, for part of the book where he's training them, it feels so much like he's just, like, running around the woods playing pretend. It's so funny to me. We talked about the names. Leaf Dapple sounds nice, but it looks so weird written out. Like, the word Leaf Dapple does not look like it should be a word, because it looks like leafed apple. It's very odd. But yeah, I was like, how are any of these cats agreeing to this? Because it's just like this weird cat shows up with his wife, and he's like, everybody come live in these caves with us, and we'll all sleep in a big pile, because God
and you're
said
called
to.
this now.
Yeah, and your name is different.
You have to fully leave behind your old life. You have to cut off anyone else you knew, but the Clinton will take care of you. We're all going to work together. We'll gather and share food together, and you do have to take on a new name here. Except you, Rainfur. Your good name your good name's good enough.
It's
yeah.
It's kind of fucked also the way he trains them, because he learns before getting them together that, like, about some Sky Clan, like, cultural things, that, like, mothers would mentor each other's kits. So, like, they would trade kits and mentor that way. But then he's like, actually, I'm going to teach you how to do things the Thunder Clan way. And that's how all clans are, even though I learned that Sky Clan did things differently.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very funny. I wish there was more. I don't think there's that many quirks between the different clans. I don't think they're that different from each other. I wish there was more. I wish there was more, like, oh, this clan does things this way, but they all kind of have the same stuff they do. They just live in different places and they're suited to those places a little bit. Who do we think is scarier? Do we think the rats are scarier or the dogs were scarier?
That's tough, because one's a stupid kind of dumb and one's a pointedly intelligent kind of dumb, or evil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the rats were creepier. I think the dogs are more dangerous, but the rats are creepier.
Yeah.
I liked the rats more. I don't know if they're a better villain, but I did like them more.
Yeah. I mean, rats have claimed 2 leader lives so far. Which is funny because the cats don't even really kill the rats. Like, it doesn't even seem like it's necessarily a, like, cats kill us so we have to get the jump on them. Rats just seem like, we fucking hate these cats. We're killing Blue Star. We're killing Firestar. Margot, did you have more stuff that you wanted to talk about in this section?
I think we got through most of it. I will say real quick, just aged unfortunately, but I really don't know the phrase Sky Clan could be great again.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. Also, it's funny to me that the book is so much longer, but there aren't that many more chapters. They just made the chapters way longer, which often feels like they're like 2 chapters that they smash together.
Yeah.
Which works. The chapters are too short often in the other books, but it is just funny to me to be like, well, we can't have too many chapters so the kids won't read it.
Yeah. Oh, this one has 87 chapters, and
I'm not doing that.
I'm not reading this. Okay, well, let's talk about lines we liked. We talked about some of them a little bit. The trees line. But who wants to go first with other lines they liked?
I only have one other that really stood out to me. I really liked the trees line. The other one was a description of the barn where the rats lived, which Firestar thinks of as a shiny, unnatural two-leg thing with death at its heart.
That's good stuff.
Also,
So
I was gonna say
good.
this earlier. It's actually not a barn. It is a warehouse.
Is it a warehouse?
It's only established as that though in the maps at the beginning of the book. If you
Oh.
look at the picture, it's like, oh, what is this? But then in the human map, it says warehouse disused, which makes sense why it's described so like differently. But
Right.
they call it a barn because Firestar only
Okay.
knows barn because there's a barn near them.
All he knows is barn.
All he knows is barn. He doesn't know warehouse. I mean,
hot
the
tub.
amount of context a cat would have to understand to know what a warehouse is when
Yeah.
they think cars are alive. They think cars are living creatures that chase and hunt them. Actually, I forgot to write this down as a Purr, but one of the things I really liked about this book was all the stuff with the cars where Firestar kept being like, "It saw us!" and like hiding. I really liked that they're just like, these monsters, they're mechanical monsters that humans get inside, and they are alive, and they are chasing us.
Call me Z.
All these cats know these days is barn, bee, orange, and lie.
A perfect joke.
Eat hot rat and lie.
Perfect. I was trying to get there and I just couldn't, and so I'm so glad that someone did. It's perfect.
Taylor, do you want to give one?
Yeah, I'll give one. I really liked when Firestar is talking to all these cats who live in that neighborhood. He walks up to some of them and goes, "Greetings, how's the prey running?" And then it says Cole and Snowy exchanged a glance as if he'd said something off. Firestar hoped he hadn't sounded too weird. Like, okay, relatable. And then later, Cherrytail and Sparrowpelt, he's like talking to them about something, and he's like, "You guys must be really weird to do that." I forget what I think he's talking about chasing Sky Watcher, but he's like, "You must be really weird to do that," and they're like, "We're not weird." Which I just don't remember weird being used so much. Yeah.
I have a few. I liked this happened several times, but the first time that it happened, I wrote it down where Blue Star said to Firestar, "Firestar, are there bees in your brain?" And that's just the fun I'm here for. One that I thought was really beautiful at the part where Leaf Dapple is getting her lives. The line is, "Firestar remembered how he had felt as the number of his lives mounted up, as though he were a hollowed out rock filling up with rainwater that soon would spill over the edges and be lost." And that's just like, that's some good writing right there. I feel like they would be, whoever wrote that must have been really happy with that, you know?
Cherith, our queen.
Did she write it by herself?
I think usually that's how these kind of books work. That like the editor gives like an outline of what's supposed to happen in the books, and then the ghostwriter actually writes them, and then they're edited by someone. So I assume I don't have any special insight into these books.
Okay. I only have two more. The first, when the rat says, "You stay by river, you die," I was like, whoa, you gotta respect it.
Very clear in his instructions.
Very clear, very clear. And then before bird flight shows up, when they're waiting like a while for that ninth life, Echo Song, being anxious about that ninth life, says, "Oh, come quickly." I just thought that was fun for me.
Yeah. I had two more quotes. I don't know why I didn't read these. I didn't notice that I had more. My other two were, Firestar shivered. He was used to monsters racing along thunder paths. He couldn't imagine what it would be like if they crashed their way into a clan's territory, tearing up trees and destroying the camp, which is good foreshadowing because we know that happens at the end of Midnight. And then I could not stop thinking about this line. I didn't originally write it down because I was like, it's kind of stupid, but I told it to Mike and kept thinking about it. But Firestar, I think, is it's kind of in his perspective, and he says, even if the rat's leader hadn't joined in on the attack himself, his clever, controlling mind was behind it. And I don't know, I just love this, like, rat with these hateful eyes, clever and controlling behind everything. It's very funny.
Can we talk about how he's like sending out like shivers amongst all the other like rats? Like that's so creepy and wild.
And it was so cool when Firestar killed him. Just like, he was like, I don't have time to explain. And just like, which Spotted Leaf? I mean, come on, the girl has some good ideas. Even if she's, even if she's, I guess, now in love, which was never established before, but.
Stay dead. Get out of here.
Melanie, what's your rating for this book?
I gave it 6 out of 9 lives. I would have liked the story a lot more if it had been a bit more concise. That being said, this had some really great moments. The fact that there was, I mean, I'll get into it in my Purr, Sniff, Hiss, like the moments that I really loved. So I'll leave it at that.
Sorry, Mace, who is watching specifically because this is her favorite book, I gave this 2 out of 5 blue stars. There was a lot of boring stuff. It definitely didn't need to be 500 pages. I don't think we talked about this. Maybe this will be in person of his. The events of the book I liked, but there's a lot of, like, taking a million years for something to happen and it being, like, written out. Like, why, it's never really told why Skywatcher didn't say, hey, there's these rats. So there's, like, multiple paragraphs where Firestar is like, there's this evil, I feel this evil feeling, this evil feeling, this evil feeling. I don't know what it is. What could it be? This evil feeling. Or, like, I don't know where this cat is. I don't know if I should stay. I don't know if I should go. And I was like, okay, we can chop some, we can chop some of this stuff out. I'm not mad I read it. I would probably not read it again. If anything, this could have been a shorter book than the average Warrior Cats book, and instead it was 200 pages longer. So, I had to knock it down for that a little bit. But what did you think, Margo?
Yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 clans. The Sky Clan retcon is wild to me. And yes, the book is too long. There are sections that don't need to be there. I do like just Firestar and Sandstorm kind of going on a quest. Like, I talked about it at midnight, but give me the dumb fantasy bullshit. Give them a quest to do. I would like that quest to be more... I would like there to be less filler in that quest. Like, maybe have some of that stuff be relevant later in the book. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Mel, do you want to do your person of hiss since you mentioned that already?
Sure.
So for people watching for the first time, I'll say this really quick. Person of hiss, this is like Rose, Bud, Thorn, something we liked, something we're looking forward to, something we didn't like. So that's what person of hiss is.
So my Purr, this one had the heist that I've been waiting for. When we talked about there being a heist to break like a cat out of somewhere before, this actually happens in this one where there's planning behind it. They enact that plan. It feels like there's weight to it. With who's is it Clovertail with her kits? Getting her out of the house where she's like starving to death with her kittens. Like it's good. And the rat fight was so intense and action-packed. I had a great time with it. Love that.
Oh, it was Petal Nose. Sorry. I nodded.
Petal Nose. Yeah.
I nodded that you were right, but I was wrong. It's Petal Nose.
Petal, which, side note, I hate that she was named Petal Nose. It just makes me think of like star-nosed moles or shrews. Yeah. And yeah. Sniff, I'm pretty excited that we're branching out and meeting a lot of rogue cats. I'm looking forward to more of that as time goes on. And the name's just getting more banana boats crazy, you know? That's what I want. Hiss, I'm gonna need this series to leave Spotted Leaf in the past. Let this hot girl next door stay dead. Please.
From your lips to StarClan's ears.
I fear that's not. I fear that's not gonna happen. I think it gets. I think this book is maybe the worst of it, based on like what I've seen people say about this book. But I think.
I mean, also, I don't know that we get a lot more Firestar point of view.
True.
So we may not see a whole lot more of it.
That's true.
I hope so.
My Purr, I really liked that there's a reason Firestar was chosen to help Sky Clan. He isn't related to any of the cats who betrayed them, but he is the leader of the clan. So I really liked that. I thought it was like a great justification. I don't mind that a lot of stuff is like, oh, they're fated to do this. Like, that's kind of fine. That's fantasy bullshit. But I liked that this was a little different. It was like, no, here's the reason why you're the one who's doing it and why we trust you to do it. I also like that this is kind of a marriage drama with Fireheart and Sandstorm fighting so much. I really liked, we didn't talk about it that much, but I liked the part where Firestar thought that Sandstorm could have died and was like, spent so long looking for her. I liked that. Like, my gripe about the book being too long, I wouldn't like get rid of that stuff. There's just some parts of it that are written very long that I am like, okay, it doesn't need to be written this way. I also have to give Firestar credit for coming up with really cute names for the cats, for the most part. Mild hiss that Leafstar's first names for cats were so boring. Like, she was immediately like, yeah, my first chance to name cats, tail, pelt, whatever. And I'm like,
good enough.
Firestar named a cat Echo Song. Come on, that's pretty cool. And then she's like, I don't know, Cherry Tail. I guess she's tail's red. But if anything, she should name it something, you know, interesting. Something weird, because she doesn't know what they're all called. And then some parts of this book got me really choked up. Clovertail's character development was so perfect, especially for, like, a side character. They didn't dwell on it too much, but I really liked that. Birdflight and Cloudstar's reunion. Leafstar's scenes becoming leader. I got really choked up during all of that. Sniff? I hope we'll see Sky Clan again. I don't know. I didn't want to look it up. But I was like, I hope they come back. I also feel like the cats in town were like a backdoor pilot or something. Like the other town that they go to with like Stick and Cora and all those cats. There was like stuff happening there where they all seemed like, I don't know, they were like behaving very differently, and there was like the part where Firestar was like, I hope I didn't say anything weird, because they like gave each other a look, and I was like, I was expecting that to mean something, so I'm like, maybe these cats are in other books, I don't know. Hisses, I'm so disappointed there's no reference. We have Brambleclaw's naming ceremony at the beginning of this book. There's no reference to him having the same last part of his name as his dad. Tigerclaw, Brambleclaw, and also the significance of Firestar choosing that name. I'm like, there's nothing. Firestar's not like, I'm giving you this because of the good parts of your dad, or like to honor what a brave warrior he was. He's just like, yeah, Brambleclaw, and I was like, that's fucked. And Brambleclaw doesn't ask about it. Brambleclaw, who hates his dad, said, I'm never going to be anything like you, and then gets part of his name is the same as his dad's, and he doesn't have any thoughts or feelings about that. I didn't like that. We mentioned this, pretty big error toward the end, saying Firestar has 6 lives instead of 8, which leads me to the fact, I read all the errors from the first series now that there weren't, like, spoilers. No fucking wonder I have trouble picturing what the cats look like and how long time is passing, because they get described so inconsistently. I guess there's one part that we didn't catch where they say, like, one of the books says, like, oh, it's been 4 moons since this and 6 moons since this. I don't remember what the 2 events are. But those events happened on the same day. and they're later described as being 2 months apart. They get Gray Stripe's eye color wrong all the time. They get Lionheart's pelt color wrong all the time. Or Oakheart, maybe? I can't remember. There's, like, one cat that's, like, described really inconsistently. And I'm like, guys, you have it written in the front of the book what all the cat descriptions are. Just look at that. And describe the cats that way. Anyway, I had a lot of purrs and sniffs and hisses. But that's all of them. So Margot, what are yours?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this. My biggest purr is I really like the Firestar and Sandstorm quest part. Like, I do love them just bopping around. I love getting to really see inside their relationship. Um, really flesh that out for me. I also do love a lot of the new cats. I think that they're pretty interesting. Sharp Claw seems to be angling to be leader for most of the book, and then doesn't get to be leader, which but is seemingly okay with it. A really interesting part. I liked the way he felt about like wanting to train other cats for safety. You talked about Clovertail's arc. I think that it's great. We get to see a lot of like really fun cats, and I really do hope we get to see them again.
Somebody
I
said, I saw in chat, somebody said there's a manga about the cats in that town that I mentioned.
Ooh, I want to read that.
So yeah, maybe we'll read that.
I think yeah, that would be very cool. Yeah, there's just some really fun cats. Even Hutch like leaving is really interesting to see
Yeah,
someone try and then decide like, hey, I don't think this is working for me.
yeah.
Um, really fun. Um, Sniff, I we talked about this, but I'm so curious to see where it fits in with the other books and how it's
Mm-hmm.
going to connect. Like all of the reading guides put it after midnight. Doesn't seem, from what we know, to have really any sort of connection to the second arc. Just feels like a weird time to place it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, kind of a weird time to publish it, given that it seems to be like hinting and setting up things for the third arc, but happens or was
Yeah.
published after the first book of the third arc. Really weird to me. I'm curious to see how that will play out as we read more. Um, I also it we I talked about Spotted Leaf showing up, but also the old cats from Star Clan showing up there to like make amends to give him a life. Just irritated me. Just didn't care for that. I see why it's there though. Hiss. The book is longer than it needs to be. I like the parts where it's a lot of the parts that are fleshing it out. I do wish they had tied in more. I also think we could have used more time with Sky Clan, which I feels like counterintuitive to say, but I do think if the book was going to be this long, they needed to cut some sections and move either add early character development for those cats in Sky Clan or uh, get more time with Sky Clan in some way. I just think that we needed a little bit more.
Yeah. I feel like we had a lot of the same things we liked and didn't like about this book, just maybe we liked and didn't like them to different degrees.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's do our metrics. Melanie, do you want to go first?
Sure. So, warrior name, no, I don't have one, even though I think Bushhole is very, very funny. And maybe we just have like kind of shithead warrior cat names that are separate from what are real true.
Yeah, like I kind of like Beavis and Butthead OCs.
Yeah.
That we have.
Bushhole, piss hiss.
Yeah.
And there was one that you went, I'm gonna find it,
Was
Taylor.
there?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was. And I didn't have time to find it before this one, but I will for next one.
Okay.
Presentation level. I think I'm at a 2 right now. I got my ears, I got my makeup, I got my little sword earrings with
Oh,
cat at the hilt there.
Cute.
And I'm wearing up star tights for Star Clan today. But I don't think I'm too cat like today. Warrior mentality or cat mentality level.
mhm.
I'm at a 1. I don't think I'm feeling kind of cozy, trying to get settled in for the winter. I'm going into blankets. I'm napping like a cat a little bit, but that's about it. Warrior level, I actually have a 0 right now. I'm feeling... I don't have the energy to fight right now.
I feel that. I was like that, I think, like 2 episodes ago. I was like, I've given up.
Yeah, I don't have it in me, actually, right now.
Yeah.
An immersion level, I would say 2. I keep on meeting new cats and wondering about what their lives are like out in the wild. When Zay got her new cat, just what's the warrior cat name for that one?
Wet Paw right now
Wet
because
Paw.
of a sink.
Yeah, that's cute.
I just like, yeah, I like thinking about the cats that I feed outside, what their little warrior lives are like, but that's about it right now.
Okay. My warrior cat named No, and I've never had one. It's never been mentioned the potential of me having one. Cat presentation level. I would say about a 3 right now. I got my cat ears. I got this little cape, which I've had for a while, but I think this is my first time wearing it on stream. And I feel like these ears and the cape go very well together and are very cat-ish. I said with the combo of the cape and these glasses before the stream, I saw myself on camera and I was like, I look like I sell cocaine to cats. Like, I look like a scummy, like, I don't know, but I like it. Cat mentality level, I would say I'm like at a 3, but it's kind of funny because like I feel like I'm also like cozying up and like getting snuggly, but I feel like that makes me very cattish. Even though Melanie, you said your cat mentality is low. My warrior mentality level, I would say I'm at a 2. I think I have the energy to be fighty about stuff more than I have lately. And then immersion level 3, Mike and I did have a conversation about, I was telling him about the rats because I was like, this is wild, like this is really scary, and our cat Cece was like kind of around while we were talking, and so we were like, what would Cece do if she saw a wave of rats descending on her? And I was like, she would run away. She is a kitty pet. she would not put up with any of this. So yeah, I'd say pretty immersed. Margot, what about you?
Yeah, no warrior cat name for me. That's all that needs to be said. I do have to bump cat presentation level up to 2. Though I do have to also thank Melanie for the ears. They are delightful though. And maybe
I've
I
been
should wear them
threatening
more
to
often.
send them to her for so long.
Do you feel like you're finally your truest self?
No, but
Milk Moon Taylor.
Milk Moon is a really good name. I was gonna say, for
Whoa.
people watching, if you have channel points, you can get a randomly generated warrior cat name. So we do that sometimes. And
Milk Moon's pretty good.
Milk Moon.
I got Big Heart. You got Milk Moon. Margot, please.
Oh,
Margot?
okay.
Yeah, what are you gonna get?
Okay.
Clear eyes. Milk Moon is like, that's like a sexy
Clear
cat.
eyes, Big Heart, Milk Moon.
Heather Splash.
That's a good name. We got good ones this time.
Honestly, Heather Splash I'm good with.
Oh, Layla got Rain Whisker. That's a good one. That's
good.
cute. I like that.
That's
Milk
good.
Moon, honestly, I like Milk Moon a lot. I don't like it as my cat name. Like, I don't feel like an affinity for it, but I wish there was a cat named Milk Moon.
I will say, though, the more you're saying, if it's not stressed, it does sound like a milkman. And I don't think Milkman is a
I thought you were saying Milkman, too.
And
I like Milkman.
Hey, I don't know Mike, but I kind of like the Milkman. Our son looks a lot like our milkman. I like it so much. No, Milk Moon. Milk Moon. Layla said, love getting my whiskers wet. Heh. That's all that needs to be said. Okay. I think you were still in the middle of your metrics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you asked if I felt my truest self after the ears. I will say,
yeah,
like,
you said no.
I mean, I think there have been other parts of my transition that have felt a little more.
Okay, but the way you worded that, this is a part of your transition. The way you worded that, this is gender confirming.
Oh
I mean, like a little bit.
Canonically, a part of your transition is Melanie getting you cat ears.
It takes
my
the village.
God.
It takes the village.
I love that.
Estrogen could do a lot, but it takes the village.
Estrogen can't give you cat ears.
No.
Not
yet.
fucking yet.
It can give
Science.
you milk moons, but not cat ears.
Well, that's gonna stick around, unfortunately, I think.
Check out the milk moons now.
Wow.
Okay, your
I guess
mentality level?
Yeah. A cat mentality level, I just have it a 1. I don't feel like any more cat, even with the ears, I don't feel any more cat-like than I have before. Warrior level still at a 2. Always ready to fight. Not necessarily more than any other right now. I got a vacation. I got a break. It's a little subdued, but I'm always ready for that. And then immersion level at a 3. I talked about this a lot last time, I think, but yeah, I'm giving a warrior cat name to every cat I meet at this point, and I'm starting to look at cats and be like, "What's your role in the clan?" And I'm not even. That's not me consciously doing that. I'm not thinking like, "Oh, let me connect this to the podcast I do." I'm just like, no, that's a stray cat. That's a warrior cat. What's your name, bud?
And then you have a prophetic vision of it, and you see.
You're a medicine cat.
Oh, rain puddle.
I get why. I've always known that like a kid's pretending to be the medicine cat of the clan was like a lot of kids would fight over that, and I understand why at this point. Like, the medicine cats are the coolest.
Yeah, the medicine cats are the coolest
and the sexiest.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually not true. The Thunder Clan ones are, but we've got running nose and mud fur. So.
Oh yeah. And also, I mean,
Some
the
of
Sky
them.
Clan too. The way that Firestar talks about medicine cats is usually pretty objectifying of them.
He can't help that they're hot. He can't
help what their scent's like.
He can't help
They smell
sweet
so
scent.
good.
Okay.
Gotta drink in that scent.
I gotta drink in this sweet medicine scent.
Ooh.
Okay, well, really quick before we wrap up. So part of the reason why I'm a little more catted up today with this cape is because I am playing my Warrior Cats inspired Wanderhome character on my channel on Saturday, December 13th from 2 to 4 p.m. Some people may have watched previously. I was on a different channel doing a Wanderhome one-shot, and the person who runs those one-shots does them on a bunch of different channels, these different Wanderhome interludes. So I am playing Star, the exile cat, who's a grumpy old lady cat, heavily inspired by Yellowfang. And so when I play her, I wear this cape. And I think last time I played her, I didn't have these ears yet, so that'll be a fun addition. Also, our next Warrior Chats, we are probably going to have one in December. If we do, we are reading The Rise of Scourge, which is the first manga that was published, and it does have stuff about Scourge's backstory. I think it'll be interesting. I have been spoiled a little bit on some stuff with Scourge's backstory, but I think it'll be cool, and I'm looking forward to it. So keep an eye on our Discord server, and like I post on Blue Sky, that kind of stuff, and I'll announce the date, or just follow on Twitch and you'll get a notification when we're doing it. Well, kitty pets and warrior cats, that's our episode for today. You can find us online. I'm everywhere as Roll for Felicity. Melanie is Lemony Drews, and Zay is Wild J Blue. Until next time, may Star Clan guide you, and keep your eyes peeled for Star Clan? Lying Star Clan? That's the true enemy.
Whoa.